2. Hey everybody, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you how I came up with a campaign and 2 ad groups for a website. The website I am going to be using is the New Age Salon. If you want to check it out, www.thenewagesalon.com. This is my sister's website I made for her a few years ago. There is a lot of services that she can advertise for. I'm going to pick her most profitable, which is the hair extensions. You can make a lot more with that. I'm only going to spend about $50 on this, so I don't have a ton of money to spend across a whole bunch of different things. Plus, she comes up organically in top 3 on almost everything anyway. So I've never advertised hair extensions before, so never really needed to, but that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to be doing the exact same assignment as you guys. I'm going to be opening up an Adwords account from scratch, just so it should mimic what you guys are doing as much as possible. So real quickly with this, here's just an Adwords chart I found online randomly. So you can see that you have an account, a campaign, and then you have ad groups. So with a campaign, at a base level, that could probably mimic your menu mostly. So for the New Age Salon with my campaign, I might be targeting different things. Haircut could be a campaign, hair coloring, all that hair cutting stuff, whatever it is over here that she's selling on the website. And then within each of those, so if I was doing haircuts within my ad groups, I might have kids cuts, men's cuts, child's cuts, etc. So generally what you're changing in the campaign is going to be, you're going to set a budget for each campaign, where that campaign is going to show. So if I thought maybe women were willing to drive a lot further than women with children, I might just target a bigger geographical area and end up having 2 campaigns for cuts rather than the 1 campaign with the women's, men's, and child. So a lot of that gets determined within your campaigns, where you want to target, how much you want to spend, and once you kind of have that, then you want to get a lot more targeted with what you're advertising within your ad groups. So I'm going to do mine slightly different than what you guys are doing. I'm going to do one more targeted or better keywords that I think are better keywords in one ad group, and I'm going to go very broad and very general in another ad group with hair extensions, just to kind of show you what kinds of things could happen with both of those, and we'll see some of the problems we run into by going broad versus phrase and exact match keywords. So here's my notes that I came up with while I was researching this group. I didn't spend too long on this just because it's just for an assignment. So if this was for a client, I would be putting a lot more time and effort into this. Besides the keyword research, we'd be setting up conversions across the website. I can't do it for the salon just because we have so many different ways that they can contact us. So with a contact us form, I would have to go in and program this to open up a new page once somebody hits submit, so I can get a little piece of tracking code into that thank you page to send it back to show that we had a conversion. There's a book an appointment button, so I'd have to worry about setting up conversions for this. And then we got a phone number. So if I have a phone number on a website, then I'm going to be using a program such as CallRail. And with CallRail, what we do with that is we have a little piece of code in the website that would change this number to one of our tracking numbers, and then that gets swapped around, and we can once they dial that number, it sends a little piece of code back, so we get a ping that there was a conversion from the phone number. And then generally we record the phone calls and we let them know we're recording it, and we use that just to make sure that the salespeople are kind of doing their job and all that fun stuff. The other thing I should be doing is creating a page just for hair extensions. Generally, you want to kind of cut down on all these other little options that they can click on. You want to make it super simple for them to just do the action that you want them to do. So I want them to call, or I want them to contact me and ask me about getting their hair extensions done. So this page itself isn't too bad. So it's got a lot of good information on here. It's not perfect, but for this particular assignment, I think it's going to be pretty much good enough to use. So the first thing I did, and I don't always start here. Usually I start with the keyword planner up here, but I just went to the hair. I put hair extensions in answerthepublic.com. I don't know a ton about hair extensions. I'm actually bald, so I'm probably the worst person to be advertising for hair extensions. So I went here just to see all the different types of stuff that people are searching for. And I use all this. I read every single question across the thing to see all the different types of stuff. And what I'm looking for are keywords that I think are going to convert and keywords that I think are junk. If I see something that doesn't have a high chance of converting, then I'm going to put that as a negative. So you can see in this particular example, I ended up coming up with a lot more negative keywords than I did with keywords. So I found a lot more type keywords that would make it not convert versus words that I found that were really good and I thought would convert for me. So just to kind of show you some of the things I came up with, we don't want any DIY keywords because they're not going to pay a salon to do it. Online, no one's going to perform that service online, so they're obviously going to be shopping if they have hair extensions online. Then if I have an online keyword, if my negative keyword is online, then even if they have hair extensions, that keyword is not going to activate. So you could pause the video and take a look at all of these, and there's a reason I did each one of these. So cost is one I'm kind of on the fence about, but so if you were to type in hair extensions cost, generally you probably should be in the final stages of a decision. So it just depends on the situation. If I had conversion tracking set up, then I would probably be able to get some good data on whether that was converting or not after a while. So I don't think it's the worst keyword. I'm actually going to take it out after thinking about it with you guys. So let's see. I ended up putting it down here too. So I went through all this. I read through every single one, and I was just looking for words that I thought would convert and words that I thought were people not looking to get this service. So my two ad groups, generally you're going to be advertising two different things, but I'm just going super broad with hair extensions by itself. I may throw in a couple more keywords. Once I put it into AdWords, it's going to give me some suggestions. So not a lot to kind of do with this. I don't want to put it in Weave or anything else like that, because I see Weave over here. So I'm going to start with this and just see what suggestions I get once I get into there. And then I'm using a couple of phrase match and exact match keywords over here. So with hair extensions near me, when I phrase match that, that could be somebody looking for a retail store that sells hair extensions, but what I'm hoping for is that they are looking for a hair extension service near them. And when I phrase match it like that, it needs those words, but they can say best salon for hair extensions near me, and it's still going to show up. So with the exact match here, if they search just for hair extensions by itself, I don't know if this is going to be a good keyword. This is a little bit risky, but if somebody searches for just hair extensions, then I'm hoping that they are looking for a service, because I think if you're going to buy them, you'd probably use a little bit more descriptive keyword to buy it. But I could see people just typing in hair extensions and looking for a business. So with conversions, I would know right away. I don't have conversion tracking set up, so it's a little bit risky. So maybe I'll pause that after a day or two, or a little bit more money. But the rest of these are words I think could be decent converters. I didn't put a ton of time into this, but I got enough to kind of get me started, and I'm not spending a lot of money. If you see this down here, you're going to see this in my next video where I am setting up ads. So I used this program up here. I just Googled for an ad preview tool. I do not recommend or not recommend this, but I can throw in my text in here and get all my stuff ready to go, so I don't have to figure out ads when I record my next video, because we have space requirements that we can't go over. If we start to go over, then it will not, Google will not accept the ads. So we have to get everything written within a certain amount of spaces, and that's going to be much. It's going to make a lot more sense in the next video, as I said. So all this might be a little confusing right now, but these are just different variations of the main ad that I have up here. So essentially, that is how I came up with my campaign and my two ad groups. that is that. I am going to see you in the next video.